Here and There continues with Stefanie Brazile. She is the co-owner and editor of 501 Life magazine, and we're talking about 501 means business. That's what's the subject of this issue. And on the cover is a business that's celebrating 45 years in Conway. Who are we talking about?
Stoby's.
Oh, 45 years.
Yes.
Okay.
We have David and Patty Stoby on the cover, and I think, being someone who's newer to Conway, it's really interesting that he's maintained the same location from the beginning and tells the story in the article of how he approached Mrs. Smith, who had a pie shop there, and he borrowed $4,000 from his brothers and bought that from her, and the next day she shows up and says, "Okay, now are you going to hire me?" And so he said, absolutely. And so they sold just sandwiches and pies. And she was there for 20 years.
Okay.
But we all know there's a lot more about Stoby's, and it's a great article, and we want to congratulate them.
That is fantastic. I did not realize it had been 45 years. So in another article, we learn about how much is being exported by Arkansas businesses to other countries. We probably don't know a lot about that until we read this article. Who are we talking about?
The Arkansas District Export Council gave us this information, and in 2024, almost $7 billion, that's billion with a B,
With a B.
products were exported from Arkansas by more than 1,600 companies.
Okay.
And I asked specifically, and Walmart's not the main player there, so we're dealing with 1,600 companies who are exporting products internationally, and the Arkansas District Export Council helps educate them on that. It'd be pretty scary to sell your products overseas and come up with those contracts, and how are they going to pay? So it's pretty interesting.
Very nice. Something that I know we could all learn more about there. There's a local business that exports products internationally. Been around since 1976. Who is that?
Leather Brothers.
Yes.
So Leather Brothers makes a lot of pet products. They still hand cut the leather, sew it, all of that, and it's just down the road here. They've been doing that since 1976 when Louis and Steve Schreckenhofer started Leather Brothers, and they are brothers, and they started it because one night they showed up at their parents' house, both wearing leather jackets, and their mom said, "Here's the Leather Brothers," and so when they founded their company, they gave it that name. But they have great attitude. They have the fourth generation of family members working at that company and employ a lot of people. So it's really interesting. They said it's so cool to be in another country and see your products on the shelf made in America right here in Arkansas.
So Michael and I were in leadership together a few years ago, and so I got to see a little bit of that business and was fascinated that it is right here in Conway and what they do. And so I'm glad we'll get an inside look at that through the magazine. The Arkansas Securities Department warns readers about the invisible crime of the 21st century. There's this invisible crime that we need to be aware of. What are they referring to?
Elder financial abuse, which is something that
terrible.
affects all of us, because whether it's you or your parents or grandparents that perhaps you help with things, they are being taken advantage of and losing massive amounts of money. So when you have one of our state departments really focusing in on this and trying to educate people, we've got to pay attention. So the article tells you a lot of the different ways that they're doing this. And I know that a lot of people who have been victims, even people close to me, it's embarrassing for them, and it can happen so quickly to any of us. So it's a great read.
Well, and it's something that I know that they take advantage of every little tiny, whether it's a text message or whether it's an email scam or whatever it might be, a phone call, and there's just so many efforts to try and abuse elders financially. I mean, that's what it is. And
It's really horrible.
It is. It's a terrible thing. And so I'm glad that you're bringing light to it. I'm glad the Arkansas Securities Department is doing what they're doing, and hopefully we can minimize that more. For those who ride motorcycles, our buddy Mike Kemp he's got an adventure that he seems like he's always on. I think he may just pause the adventure long enough to post his photos and write his articles, but otherwise he is out and about.
Well, he's calling this a 3-mountain tour.
Okay.
Which
Okay.
I think is cute. So of course he's talking about Petit Jean, Mount Nebo, and of course my favorite, Mount Magazine.
Yeah.
But anyway, he does that in a day, and he's encouraging other riders to do that. And he talks about the curves, and there's a lot to it. Of course, we know Mount Nebo is so steep, so certainly coming down on a motorcycle. But it's an exciting and fun column to read.
And it's beautiful in the fall. So even if you're not on a motorcycle, just making that drive and following what Mike has to say, I think will be a
Good
good
advice.
idea. The 501 Life Football magazine is out. You brought a copy that's on our table here. I picked mine up a couple of days ago and I love it. I think I know Levi Gilbert, our Levi. He's your Levi first probably, but we'll share him. He and the crew have done a great job with it.
Yes, he and Mark Oliver write so much of this. And we have 28 members of this elite team. They are chosen for their on and off the field attributes. So they are great athletes, but also they have great GPAs. They're volunteering. They are known for their good character. And we've chosen someone from all 11 counties that we serve, and obviously more than one from some of those counties. So 28 students, there's a little bio about each one and a photo. So it's great magazine. It has a couple of extra articles in there as well that people will enjoy.
And those are on newsstands now.
They are.
And is that available digitally?
It is.
Okay.
It is. Everything we do is also available at 501lifemag.com.
Okay, very good. Stefanie, thanks.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
My name is Jeff Brooks, and this is my beautiful wife, Kathy Brooks. We're here in downtown Conway with Brooks Fine Jewelry. We've come back into the showroom, and we are now the store managers.
I love seeing the look on my customer's face when they come in and see the ring that they have designed. When they get engaged, they're sending us pictures when she says yes.
So bring your imaginations, bring your inspiration pieces, and bring your ideas down. There's no holds barred when it comes to custom, specifically from Brooks Fine Jewelry. We're waiting here, and we're happy to see you.